Recording in progress.
Hi, how y'all doing today? This conversation is Beyond Stigma. The second time I'm doing this with Keishel and Keishay. I don't do a good job at introducing people, so I allow y'all to introduce yourselves.
I'm gonna go first. Hey, I'm Keishay. I'm Keishel.
Cool.
New here.
Obviously, they look like each other, so you can get what the drift is. They're twins. But without further ado, we're gonna start off with the first question. So the first one would be, and I'm blind, so forgive me.
We is too, Brodrick.
When you meet someone, how do you figure out what is wrong with them, and how do you get them comfortable opening up to you?
That's a good question.
That is a great question. Honestly, I let a person know that they can talk to me about anything because, I'm an open book. So, like, whatever I talk to people, I let them know, like, you can't be too trustful because you let people know too much up front, then they, like, throw stuff back in your face, like what you let them know. Mm-hmm. But I let people know that they can be comfortable around me. Whatever they say to me is going to stay with me and not, be spread around anybody else. Your secret is safe for me, whatever you want to talk about. That's it. But I let people know they're always comfortable with talking to me.
I'm gonna say something. By the way you will know something about them is because, like, at our facility, you will know something about them. Of course, you're gonna know their history because it's in the records, so you will know that. But like she just said, you also want to let them know that you're trustworthy. So when they come to you, you gotta make sure you listening to them. You don't want to I guess you can say baby them or anything, talk down to them. You got to talk to them like an adult, of course, but you also want to, like, be a person that they can come to and trust. Because you don't want, when you lose somebody's trust, how can they talk to you and tell you how they're feeling if they can't trust you?
One more thing I want to say is that I work with older individuals with developmentally delayed. Like, they're developmentally delayed. So it's like they're older people, like they're like in their 50s, 60s, 70s, but they have like a childlike mind, like they're like 3-year-old mind wise. So you have to talk to them like how you will still have to talk to them like an adult, of course, but you gotta simplify it for them like they're 3 years old, because that's in a way for them to understand it. So we have certain rules, well, not rules, we have certain, like, certain things you teach kids. Don't run while don't run, don't do this. Respect your classmates, respect adults. Treat people how you want to be treated, because if you're treating people with disrespect, how you want somebody to respect you.
Exactly.
It's the same things you teach a child, because literally they're like 3 years old in the mind. So even though they're like older than you, because I'm the youngest one that I'm working,
and they are also very intelligent.
Yeah, they're very intelligent. They're very intelligent, but just because they have a mental state, a lot of them are very, very smart. Like, they're very, very smart. They will surprise you. Mm-hmm. They will really surprise you. So, and on top of that, they have behaviors where they got to take meds for.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they have. Okay. I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good. I'm going to ask you about that later, though.
Okay.
Can you describe can you describe the difference between anxiety and depression?
The difference between anxiety and depression, I think anxiety is like a mental thing. Like, I can't really explain it to the best of my ability, but I do know depression is like deep within. I can't really explain it. Because both of them are mental disorder. They can be a mental. They both are a mental disorder. They are. There's people that take meds for both things. Like,
both of them.
Literally, all the clients we have, they take some for anxiety and depression. Yes.
But are they different disorders, or are they?
They are, but they can sometimes be similar. They can have some similar ideas to it, because anxiety. I feel like anxiety, it shows more than depression, but then again, sometimes you have to find that's why in this field you have to find the signs of it, because you're not going to know how somebody's feeling if they're having anxiety or they're having depression, because all the signs could be the same, but they're also different. Because how can I say this? Because some of the clients, like we will say, I can't even explain it for real, but you just gotta really just get to know them for real and know their record to see what the signs are. Know if someone is feeling down, or they're not having they're not having a good day, and they're down all the time. That might be towards depression. or sometimes people might not be able to talk around people. That's a little bit anxiety, a little bit.
Yeah,
they might not want to. They might want to hide out and
yes.
isolate themselves.
Yes.
Their anxiety, they can't talk around people. They get a little scared. So you have to really just find the signs to know which one it is for real. You just got to pay attention. Because in this field, you have to pay attention.
Yes, because anxiety is just fear, worry, panic. You every little small thing, it makes you like scared to be around people because you're like, oh my gosh, what if you're thinking somebody's talking about you and they're not even talking about you.
Exactly.
You could be like, oh, they don't want to be my friend. They don't want to be my friend. They don't even know that you feel this way. Depression is people that's just withdrawing. They don't.
Yes. They're standing.
Withdrawing. That means they're not even taking care of themselves. There are people that's depression. When I was working and with my company, I was on the MI. I'm working with DD. That's developmentally delayed. I was in a different position where I was working with MI. I think MI is mentally. I never knew the other word, but it's
mental illness.
I think it's mental something. I forgot the name, but it's way different than DD. DD is like the babyish thing. MI is where like these people, they have their own families going on. They're these other clients, they're literally in like a group home setting. They stay in a group home, living like they're on a campus. The other people, they stay with families, friends, whoever. They stay at their own family, but they're still going through their own. They're still in sessions with a therapist.
Well, like I said, you just really have to find the signs and see which one it really is. And when you know really what anxiety is and what depression is.
I wasn't done. Sorry. What I was trying to get to my point was that the clients that we had, I was working alongside a therapist. And I went to sessions with him. I was working as a case manager. He was a therapist. So he worked with the therapy sessions. I just did the case management work. Mm-hmm. And every session,
which is research.
Basically research, yes. And every session we did together, he always asked them, how's your depression? How's your anxiety? They're different because anxiety is because they can't adapt in the world around people because they feel like they have that fear and worry. Depression is some of them won't even take showers. They won't take care of themselves.
They won't talk to people.
When you're depressed, you're isolating yourself and you're standing inside. You're not trying to see people. You're not trying to see family, friends, none of that. So they really do go together.
And that's why I say you have to. That's why I say you have to really find on the signs on yourself. That's how you got to really get to know them, to know which one they are portraying.
Because everybody can have a little anxiety. I have a little anxiety. I don't like huge crowds of people. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say I'm depressed. Really, I'm not really depressed. So yeah,
I hope to answer your question.
Nah, you good. Y'all doing a good job.
We're just talking.
How would you advise someone dealing with antisocial?
Antisocial?
Yeah.
Antisocial? How can you say? Sorry. You said how can we? You said how can we do what, Brodrick?
Advise.
Like okay, like usually when I picture people who have mental health issues, it's very emotional. Like they probably went through something traumatic. Things
that's true.
Somebody with anti-personality or antisocial personality disorder, they lack empathy. They lack the connection with their emotions. What would you advise somebody who's dealing with something like that?
That's true.
I can answer that really quick. Also, when we did our counseling sessions with the clients, most of them did have a hard time getting to meet people, talking to people, socializing with others. The advice that we were supposed to give is like we're supposed to give them things like give them something to do. See if you can go meet a friend, go somewhere, go out in public, talk to people. Having that, this is the main thing. Find an activity you like, and whatever activity you like, try to go do it, and then that's how you meet people.
Like a hobby.
Yes. We always had to ask them, what is your hobbies? What you like to do? Whatever you want to do, try to go find people and find a group to be. We always ask, would you want to be in a group? That there are groups that help you when and they're always like, no, I don't want to do that.
But you have to start off small first because some of them might be antisocial. So you have to start from the baby step.
But the first thing to break that is that you have to find what you want to do. And to not be antisocial, you have to be able to be around people. Mm-hmm. So that means you have to find out what you like to do. So that means you can have people to talk to about it.
I'm going to be honest. I'm still learning that myself. And as in my adult years, because I'm a little antisocial sometimes towards other people, especially when you meet somebody. When you first meet somebody, you can be a little standoffish because you don't know how they're going to be around you. Sometimes that energy might not be, you know, the same, and it might not correlate the same. So you might want to wait a little bit before you get involved with somebody, because you just, you know, you're antisocial. You got to get to know them first.
Yep, true. Because I feel like
I can kind of relate to them a little bit about that social thing.
But it's worse for people that really can't talk to people. I mean, like you have these people, you have some people that really can't even adapt in society because they don't know how to talk to people. Like, I mean, at all. They could be around. They'll be a person just standing there.
Exactly.
They don't know how to talk. So,
what mental health disorder is most commonly associated with women?
Women. That's a good question.
Is there any like multiple choices that's down there about it? No. Well, I don't know. I feel like when I was in the group home with the women, all of them literally had anxiety. All of them had anxiety. It was a woman's house. But I can't really honestly answer that because I really don't know, because everybody's different. But from my experience, all I seen was anxiety. I'll say OCD. That too. I would definitely say anxiety. I would say OCD because there was like a few women that I was working with. They had obsessive compulsive disorder. They're obsessive. And the women that I work with now, there's 2-3 women that's obsessed with men, and they not even in a good way, in a bad way. Postpartum, yeah. That's what women can deal with. They with postpartum. So I would definitely say OCD. That's something that all women suffer with. Not all. I don't know if all of them suffer with that, but I know a majority of them that do. They definitely suffer. I would definitely say OCD is one of them too, because I mean, a lot of us obsess over something. There's something all women obsess over. Exactly. So that's basically what we can say for our thing.
Well, how about that same question with men?
Men. Ooh. Well, I've had some men that I worked with that was schizophrenic, and yes, one was schizophrenic, one had dementia. Another one, he also, you know, most of them had anxiety. Roger, I'm telling you, a lot of them had anxiety. One of them, like the schizophrenic one, he also had some behavior issues where he has a different type of personality. Like, he'll be happy, go lucky one minute, next minute he down. So you know, I work with him now. Benji. Yes, Benji. Well, I shouldn't say names. Yeah, you should say names. Sorry. You cut that out. But yes, the men that she mentioned, we shouldn't say any names, but I am working with that.
Hypothetically, Benji does.
Hypothetically,
they're using somebody else's name. They don't want to use his real name. They just call.
There you go. Hypothetically, someone's name is Benji. He's schizophrenic. I finally witnessed it my first time when I seen it. I was just, you know, having a conversation with him, and then like, this is my thing. I really witnessed it. And I'm still getting used to all this because I have not been around it as long. I'm only 8 months in with my company. So I was asking him a normal question, just a normal question, because you know, we take the clients around the city sometimes, and we got to take them in a van. I was asking him about transportation safety. Did he know about it? He wanted to. This is my thing. They have a certain type of schedule where they go eat lunch at 11, right? I started talking to him around 10:50 something. It was getting close to 11. He was only focused on trying to get his lunch. He did not want to speak with me at the time. So he was like, I want to eat my lunch. I said, I'm only asking you a couple questions. You're fine. Da, da, da. And he was like, okay. He started talking to himself. He said, yeah, they will talk. He said, Benji, stay focused. Benji, stay focused. She asked me a question. I'm like, okay. So I was like, you know, I want to rush this a little bit because I don't want him to feel like he got to miss his lunch. So he was telling himself to stay focused because I'm asking him a question. In his mind, he feel like he can't do anything wrong, it's a lie. I can't even say it. It's a lie. But in his mind, he feel like he got to do something. He got to do something right. So he don't. I don't know. I really can't explain it because his behavior is like on and off. It's like a switch. That's what I said. It's really like a switch. He'll be happy one minute, and the next minute he just. But I ended it so he wouldn't feel like he had to miss his lunchtime. So I just let him go early, and then he was okay. I'm good. I'm done. He was like, no, I want to finish this now before I go eat. I want to go finish this now. I'm like, okay, you're fine. We have all the time in the world to finish it. Like, you're good. And he can have his mental illness can have a little aggression in him as well. Yes, and he's a tall I think he's like 6'7", 6 something. He's a man is tall.
I don't know. We don't know him for real. This is hypothetical.
Hypothetically.
He's tall. So yeah, is establishing boundaries for is establishing boundaries for yourself a good practice, and if so, why?
Establishing boundaries
Of
for
course,
yourself.
of course it is.
Oh,
Yes,
definitely,
of
definitely. We
course it
gotta have
is.
boundaries in that type of field, most definitely, because some of those clients can be a little too how you say, like they can get a little close to you.
Comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. They get a little comfortable, and they think that they can get close because you're how can I say
I
it?
have to work with I have to work with assertiveness because I say stuff in a
Yes.
nice way, but I have to be a little more.
You gotta have boundaries because they get too comfortable sometimes. Because like you said, like she said, they're developmentally delayed. Hmm. And since they're developmentally delayed,
They think it's okay.
yeah, they think it's okay, and that they can get in your space, and you have to always let them know, hey, you need to give me a few steps back. I need you and my person. When I work with the men, I will always tell them, give me a few steps back really quick. You in my personal space. I always make sure I said that you're my you're my box. You can't be too close to me because some of them could be a little aggressive. You have to set boundaries. If you don't set boundaries, they will go far.
No, seriously, someone will come to your face this close. I'm like, bro, step back,
And then with COVID going on, and some of them don't, wear masks. So I say, give me these steps back. You have to set boundaries.
Like, you can have a conversation when you're like right here. You don't really have to be up to my face. Like, I can hear you.
You have to set boundaries. I'm telling you, it's gonna help you out in the end.
Oh, I also can't talk to none of them in like a closed room because if their actions like you cannot be in a closed room with any of them because if you're in there by yourself, anything can happen that can pop off. You always have to have door open, close to the door, so if you ever need help, you can run out.
And a witness as
well.
Always, that's number one, to have a witness, because with their mental illness, sometimes they will
make up lies,
make up stories about things.
They'll make up a lie. Some of them have a behavior where you can tell them something and they'll flip it and they'll flip it really bad. So you have to have a witness that know that you didn't say anything wrong to these individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since it's two of y'all, I wrote two on this question, so I'll get one answer from each one of y'all. So, what is a strategy you would advise someone to effectively self-reflect on themselves?
Oh, self-reflect. To love themselves more and know that they are worthy.
They're not alone.
How would you do that though? Like, what's something that can lead them to say, okay, these are my issues, or these are the things I like about myself? Just viewing themselves, like, how would they go about doing that?
I know one thing I would say is I would have them write down what they like about themselves and write down what they don't like about themselves and work on that.
Yes,
I would say that because that's what I was told. I seen a video one time where it said that if you don't like something about yourself, don't complain about it, don't dwell on it, you fix it. Because you're only gonna hurt yourself. And we all get these things that we are upset about, we insecure about. So I just feel like the only thing we can do about it is fix it. We can't really dwell on it. That depresses you. That depresses you. It does. It leaves you in this dark place. So I would tell this person, work on what you don't like about yourself. That's what I would tell them. And I would help them with it. I'll even walk them through it. I would say, what do you need me to do? Do you need me to take you somewhere where you feel like you can get... They always say the best thing that will help you, that make you feel good about yourself, is get yourself together so you can look good. When you look good, you feel good. So I would say, hey, is there anything I can do for you? Take you somewhere, get something that you like that will make you feel good, and
and actually talk to them too. Sometimes they need somebody to talk to because some people don't take them serious. So if somebody else don't take them, somebody do take them serious, it makes them feel good as well, because they be like, I can trust you. I had one of my clients tell me, I am so glad you came here because you take care of us.
They like to feel heard. Some people feel like, oh, these people just be talking. We can't use the word crazy. But a lot of these people are very smart. You just have to listen.
You can't use the R word either.
Yeah, mentally. You can't
use that word.
Yeah, don't do that.
That word is very outdated. We don't use that word anymore. We call our clients individuals, participants. I hate the word consumers. I don't like they use that word, consumer, participants, or individuals. We can't call them
clients.
We can't really call them clients. It's like a super professional, I guess. But we still call them clients. I call them clients behind their back. But yeah, pretty much,
How do y'all not let stresses from work affect y'all personal life? if it doesn't?
Ooh, that's a good question.
We try to have a good time when we're on our off days. Sometimes we don't let work break. We don't bring work home.
Mm-hmm. We try.
I have a few times.
Try not to.
I have a few times, and it has stressed me out. And she was always telling me, "Oh, you're off work. Let work stay at work. Work is only supposed to be there when you're there all hours of the day. When you get home, you're supposed to de-stress and go do something. I will always go work out, go what else I go? Go to the park, walk around,
read a book sometimes too.
Read a book, listen to some music, go hang out with a friend or two, have a life outside of work. That's the best way.
Because at work everybody get a little stressed sometimes about it, especially with working with mental illness individuals. It can be a little stressful sometimes because you see things that you never even thought you would see. And that can be a little stressful because it's like you never know when somebody has a breaking point. You just never know. And you could just be talking to them in a nice way, a normal way, and then or somebody else, and you never know if somebody else maybe pissed them off. So you have to literally you just have to be just gotta be mindful because you never know how they really feeling.
I also want to add one more thing to that. When talking to these individuals that we have, you have to. There are staff members. Hypothetically, there are staff members that don't know how to talk to the clients like a regular person. They're regular people just like you. So just like how you talk to a child, you don't think you're gonna hurt a child's feelings if you tell them, "Don't worry about it, mind your business." So why are you talking to a grown person like that? Just because they have a mental problem? If they ask you a question and it has nothing to do with you, just say, "Hey, we're not gonna talk about someone else's personal business." Keep that. But I'm bringing this up because hypothetically, I witnessed another behavior from a client. He went off on a staff member because he was asking personal questions about someone else, and she said, "Don't worry about it. It's not your business." And he popped off. He popped off. You can't talk to them a certain way. You cannot talk to them a certain way, knowing they have. Come on now, So you just have to say. You have to That's the word we use at work. We say redirect. We have to redirect them. You redirect them. That means you change the subject. You say, "Hey, do you have something to do? We can go do work on something together." So we don't have to worry about someone else's business because that's their privacy. That's their dignity. We teach them dignity and respect. Mm-hmm. Dignity and respect. We had to teach them the difference between that. So
let me ask y'all, how do early relationships like with either parents or caregivers affect your emotional connections later on in life?
Oh, it really does because everything starts at home. Go ahead. You want something? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You go first. You go ahead. Everything starts at home. So it's the same way how with the clients. Some of them you don't know their backstories. So some of them didn't even learn any type of respect. Their family didn't even respect them. They learn everything literally starts at home. From no matter when you're a baby, child, whatever. If you're never taught something, you won't know it. So they're learning as they're going through this program right now. That's how they're learning, but having caregivers,
I also have experience in caregiving as well.
Having case management, having anything, those are the type of people that help people along the way. It's not just people that just do it for a check. You need someone to actually care about what they're doing. Because you can change someone's life by just one session you have with somebody. You can change somebody's life because someone talked to something they don't want to ever taught them.
Exactly. I heard what she said. It helps them out really, especially in caregiving. Because I had experience in caregiving. I worked with clients that had strokes and they can't move or anything, or they can't do things on their own. So you have to have a caregiver to help them do that. I know a lot of them say that you can't talk personal stuff with these clients, but I know a lot of them really trust me because I really listen to them. I let them talk to me. Most people like to ignore them because they think that they're talking nonsense. Exactly. No, who don't like someone that listens to them?
Half the time, these people are really telling y'all how they feel, and y'all not really caring about what they're saying. They will literally tell you, "I'm not having a good day." Mm-hmm. You go, "Oh, you always say that. You always say that, James. You always say that."
But they're saying that for a reason.
We have feelings just like them. I don't even have a good day sometimes. I'll come in, I don't feel good. They kind of want people to listen to me. So it's like I'm sorry, I'm an empath. I would definitely say that. I feel how other people are feeling. But I think in this field you have to have tough skin because some of these clients will flip the script on you. Some of them will. I can't have tough skin. I'm too soft. I'm gonna say that. I'm soft. I'm soft as a dang button. Okay, soft as cotton. Yeah. I will. But they can get me real quick.
Me too. They know how to touch my heart.
Yeah. Let me see. Have you experienced times where your actions didn't align with your beliefs?
Mm,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
That's a good question.
These are some good questions, Brodrick. With my beliefs. Let me think. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Well, sometimes, when I talk to some of my clients and I'll mention, sometimes when I say stuff, I always be like, it's a blessing to still be here. When I say that phrase. And sometimes they'll be like, you're not really supposed to say that around clients because you never know what they believe in and stuff, and you don't want to offend nobody because you never know what somebody believes in God. But I'm sorry, I can't help that. When I'm talking to somebody and I say I'm blessed, I work. If the client say, "How are you doing, Miss Keisha?" I'm saying I'm blessed. I woke up this morning. God woke me up and gave me another day. I can't help that I say that because that's what I believe in. But what they don't believe in, that has nothing to do with me. But I think that's kind of how I would feel like it would happen though. To me, because sometimes I feel like I can't say that because some people not religious. Or spiritual or something like that. That's all I have to say.
I piggyback off what she said. I definitely would say
because I've been in that situation before.
You know how back in school they even said that they took out praying in school. They took out praying before we started class because they said that people offended while people being religious in school. I think it's crazy. What people believe in, that's what they believe in. You know?
You're supposed to always respect anybody's religion.
Yeah, you should always respect that. Dignity and respect. Okay, I taught this lesson to our clients last week. Dignity and respect. Respect means respect is earned, not given. Dignity, that means you're supposed to treat people. I put a picture up. I showed them a picture of a homeless man shaking hands with a man in a business suit, because that means you're supposed to treat the janitor just like you would treat the CEO.
Exactly.
So,
no matter how.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all want to answer this question, but I did want to get to it.
What's about?
I'm gonna read the question. What advice would you give a man who believes he's a transgender woman?
Oh my gosh, I really had a client just not too long ago when I was with the therapist. We had a client that I'm not gonna say his name. He had a name. I'm gonna hypothetically say it. Like, let's say his name was Linda, but he wanted to be Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a different name. He didn't dress as a woman, but he wore fingernails, and he wanted his name to not be Lewis. He didn't want his name to be Lewis. He wanted to be Linda, but he's actually a man.
Right.
So I didn't work with him as long. I only worked with him a month. I did not work with him long. But I can't even say I'll give anybody advice because I only met him. I didn't meet him that long. It was only a month. In the sessions that we had with the therapist, he talked to him more because he knew him more. As my case management position, I was there to listen, offer any advice with their BLS. BLS is basic living skills. I was supposed to give them advice on what they can do for an activity to help them get out to the real world society. Because when they're a part of our program, which is my job I work with, they only know the people in that company. They don't know anybody else because they don't go anywhere. So my job was to just give him advice on what he can do in the community. So I really don't know anything too much to say about that. I just know that we had to address him as the name he wanted us to address him. We couldn't address him as his, name that he was born with. But yeah, he had fingernails, they were painted. He had a boyfriend, I really
all I can say is that I just treat anybody with respect regardless, because people just everybody should be accepted, and that's another reason why. Okay, see, look, some people can be depressed, those type of things can make people depressed when they feel like they're not accepted, and it can make people unhappy and things like that. I don't know. It's just
you just have to accept them.
You just gotta respect them. Really. Even if you don't accept how the people are, you have to respect them. Everybody deserves respect, regardless.
That's the dignity I taught my clients. That's
dignity. Everybody deserves respect.
And you just gotta accept,
even if you don't accept them.
You have to accept their pronouns because like we said, he wanted to be addressed as Linda and not Lewis. So. Because
nobody's perfect at the end of the day.
And he didn't have any
change with his body at all. He just felt like that's how he feel, and that's one of his mental things too. And mentally, he felt like a woman, so he did not care. He didn't have to dress like one. He just felt like that's what he want to be. Yeah. He did not dress like it at all.
You didn't know his pronouns.
Yeah. So because it's about to kick us out of here, I ask y'all this last question. With the degrees y'all had, what degree that y'all have?
I have a degree.
Well, when you get it, what's your goal? Like, what's your dream goal for when you get that degree? Like, what's the highest level you want to take it to?
Mine's just a master's. Like, I just want to take mine to a master's. I don't know what God will have for me in the future. I don't know if I want to go higher and get a PhD or a doctorate. I don't know where God.
I mean, like with the you got the degree, you got the knowledge. Like, what do you want to do with it? Like, what do you want to accomplish with the knowledge that you've acquired?
I definitely want to help out more because I've been around women a lot, and that's in poverty. So I know for a fact I want to work with women and children that's in poverty. I want to help them. The resources that I know, I want to give it to them so they will know. So because people, I'm in social work, and people always think that social workers always taking away people's kids, and that's not always the case. Sometimes they just want to give you resources to help you so you won't get your kids taken away. So there's no issues, and the child can at least live in a safe environment. So I just want to help out women and children. That's always been my passion.
Mm-hmm. That was good. See, I work in psychology. I will give back, with that. I will. What if I have the ability or in the money that God graced me with to open up my own facility? I would want to help all ages. It don't matter, Psychology is for everybody. It's not just for any. It's I want to be able to help women, children, men, be able to live a happy, healthy life.
Of course, I would help men too, but I would just help women and children because women always have to be that fallback with kids, or with having kids, and sometimes they can't do it all on their own. They might need somebody to help them.
I get that. Women, men, and children. I get it. I seen a facility where this one lady said that there's places for women and children. This one lady opened up a facility for men because they don't have many resources. So that's good too.
That's one of my goals, though. I pray the Lord bring me to that.
Mm-hmm. But either way, it's still a great thing that you want to do. It is. It's always good to give back.
Yeah, it is.
Well, before I kick us out, I appreciate y'all for coming on.
Of course.
This has been fun. Every time I do this, I like doing them because I learn a lot of stuff like about myself, and also it's educating the people that are going to watch this. So I appreciate y'all coming on, and y'all can.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank you.
There are some things I'm gonna learn myself from this, because those are some great questions that you had asked.
You did.
It made me want to go back and just research.
I think you should send us a copy of that list.
For sure.